Hey, how's it going everyone? Good to see you again. So today's video is going to be with the theme of the NBA season coming up, and I'm going to do my top 7 NBA players coming into the 2021 season. Now, it was pretty straightforward for me up until the top 2, because then it gets a little controversial with some other people's opinions and picks, so we'll start from number 7. Now, number 7 is James Harden. In my opinion, he's still one of the best three-point shooters, along with ball handling, driving the basket, and composure and clutch. He has a lot of aspects that make him a great player, and although he has a lot of criticism when it comes to being a good teammate and going far in the playoffs and getting it done when it matters, I still think he definitely is a top 10 talent in the league, no doubt about it, and that's why he's number 7. So Harden is pretty much always an MVP candidate, and if Westbrook leaves this year, that opens up the door for him to accomplish a lot more and get even more of the stats that he's chasing. This season, he had 34.3 points, 6.6 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 1.8 steals per game. Now, number 6 is probably one of my favorite players in the NBA, and that's Damian Lillard. When I think of Damian Lillard, I just think of loyalty, and he's one of the best shooters and most clutch players. Every night it seems like he's coming up and hitting an absolute clutch shot, a 3, or getting an and 1. And it just seems like he gets better every year, and it's awesome that he sticks in Portland and is the most loyal player in the entire league, in my opinion. And so his stats were 30 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, 8 assists, and 1.1 steals. Now, number 5 is the youngest player on this list, and it's Luka Doncic. And Luka Doncic is obviously one of the most talented players we've ever seen come out of the draft, and Europe for that matter. He seems like a Lebron James and Dirk Nowitzki in one player, if I had to describe him. And so this year he made his playoff debut at only 21 years old. He's the 3rd player ever with a 40-point, 15-rebound, 10-assist game. And he did that with a hurt ankle and a huge deficit in the game. Tied for 2nd for most points in a playoff triple-double. Number 4 on the list, former Toronto Raptor, Kawhi Leonard.
Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
And I think it goes without saying, him being able to win the 2 championships and finals MVP on 2 separate teams and carrying the Raptors to that championship and making that run one of the most memorable things that I think Toronto fans have ever seen in their life. He had a great first season with the Clippers, although it ended in disappointment in the playoffs, and they lost after blowing a 3-1 series lead to the Nuggets. And I think he's obviously one of the best defensive players and clutch players in the entire league. Now, number 3 on the list is Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis probably wouldn't have been this high on the list because a lot of people would have looked at his playoff accolades, which he didn't have any at the time, other than a couple times when he was in with the Pelicans, but really going deep and showing what he can do on the big stage with a good wingman and a good supporting cast. Now, he averaged 27 points, 9.7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.4 blocks in the playoffs, and showed that he can do it with a supporting cast, which is important because the Pelicans were not a good example of what Anthony Davis could do. It showed his raw talent, and it showed him having amazing performances, but suffering losses, which always tarnishes the legacy. And I think him becoming a Laker and playing with LeBron and having this type of success in his first season, I think that does a lot for how people are going to think of Anthony Davis in hindsight. Now, number 2 on this list, this is where it was a little difficult. I was going to put LeBron James first, but I had to put him 2nd on this list, and I'll just explain. Now, he got his 4th championship and 4th finals MVP. He's getting the respect that he needs and wants, and he did make it public that that's all he wants is his respect, but I think just when it comes to pure athleticism and freakish talent right now, he goes to 2nd, and he's only 2nd to Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's because we've never seen a player like him, and he's not even in his prime yet. You can argue that he's at the beginning of it. And I just couldn't put him below LeBron James. And it was more the eye test. I don't think it was anything to do with their stats or anything like that. It was more, what do I see on the court when I look at Giannis Antetokounmpo? He's called the Greek Freak for a reason. Every night you watch him, it's special, and it reminds me of how it was with LeBron in his prime. And it is still like that. When LeBron's playing, you're going to want to watch him. Now, this could flip if Giannis has a rough year, if he stays in Milwaukee and they have another playoff exit and LeBron gets another championship. The 1 and 2 spot can flip-flop, and I would flip it. I can flip it based on what they achieve in the playoffs and the regular season and their accolades that they achieve. That is my top 7 list of the best players that are entering the 2021 season. These players all are going to have an opportunity to shine, and looking at this list, especially with, I think, Luka Doncic is going to be the exciting one to watch, to see how long it takes for him to skyrocket up this list to number 1. Will he be able to do that? Can he pass a player like Giannis? And I think he full well can. So let me know below what you think of my rankings and what you think about the situations that these guys are in, if they're going to be able to move up this list, or if you think I'm totally wrong. That's fine. If you think James Harden deserves to be number 1, let me know in the comments below. Like always, thanks everyone for coming by, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And don't forget to do so again. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.